My name is Talis. I live in Oakland and I'll be telling a story about something that happened in my life. Well, my family was pretty happy. Not so many problems in the house until my dad began to go out every Friday night since that's when he got paid. At times, he would come home around 2 a.m. really drunk and would always turn the music really loud until my mom would have to wake up and lower the music down. When we would wake up and do something wrong, he would always want to hit us for any little thing we would do wrong. That's really weird of him because he wasn't like that. But that's when all the problems began. I remember that day clearly. It was about 10 p.m. My mom was in the living room laying down, and both me and my sister were watching TV. When all of a sudden, my younger brother came in rushing to tell my mom that my dad was coming. My mom immediately went to her room and locked the door, and so did me and my sister. I was already imagining what was going to happen, a lot of screaming and arguing. So I turned up the TV and the stereo so I wouldn't be able to hear what was going on. My sister went to her bed and put a pillow on her head so she wouldn't hear what was happening. But then I thought, my mom is in her room by herself and my dad could go in and do something to her because he's drunk. Then I see my sister get up and walk to my mom's room. I heard my dad's loud voice and my heart began to beat really fast. I heard him say a bunch of words I would have never imagined he would say to my mom. I wasn't too sure if I should go in the room or not because I was scared he might hit me or scream at me. So I stayed in the hallway listening to everything until I heard something drop on the floor. I went in the room and both my mom and dad were face to face. My mom was telling my dad to go because he wasn't helping her pay the rent, and then he got really furious and tried to hit her. I did not know what to do. My parents, who I both loved so much, were getting into an argument and I didn't know whose side to be on. But then I thought about it, and it was actually my dad who was causing all the problems. I thought about what my mom had told us before. She had said that she was getting tired of him and that she didn't want to be with him no more, and she was only with him because of us. She didn't want for us to grow up without a father, but at that point she had given up and finally stood up for herself. I then turned towards the door, and my younger brother was right there watching. He looked traumatized and scared, so I went to him and told him to go outside, and he just looked at me with tears and terror in his eyes. My dad then passed by me, looked at me for a second, and then he just walked away. I felt really bad because I was the closest one to him out of all of us. But inside me there was this good feeling because my mom had finally stood up for herself. But it wasn't over yet. About 30 minutes later, my dad came back in the room. He threatened my mom and told her that if he saw her with another guy, he was going to kill both my mom and the guy. Now my mom gets scared when she sees him, but he can't get close to her because he's in restraining order and my mom could call the police. That really affected me and my family, but I now realize that I don't need my dad. My mom has been mother and father for us. She might not be able to give us everything we want, but something she has given to all of us is her love, which is what matters the most.